Okay, this is try 2 of this tutorial because in the original one, Softimage got really mad at me and then crashed. So I'm going to be doing it the way I did it originally, which probably isn't the way I'm supposed to do it. It's using the Maya skeleton instead of the sample skeleton, but it works pretty much the same. So, tragic backstory time. I wanted to add swords that rotated around one of my OC's model. Her name is Aster, and I love her. This is her. This is her swords. She's great. But the problem is, if you try to export a skeleton in Blender and any of the bones are named the same as the stock skeleton, full viewer and consequently EF-12 will explode. So I'm like, okay, how do I do this? So it took me like a bunch of rambling around. At first, I just renamed all her bones because if you have all unique bones in a skeleton in Blender, you will be able to open it in full viewer in EF-12, but the downside is you'll have to animate everything yourself and you can't use stock animations, and I'm like, I'm lazy, I don't want to do that. So instead I took the L and downloaded Softimage Mod Tool, which is one of the programs you're actually supposed to use, and played around with that for like an hour before I figured out how it worked. But I think I figured out how to add skeleton extensions without making it explode. So first you want to get your model. There she is. I already deleted the rest of her skeleton that is not spine, which is the bone that controls the rotation and also the individual swords. And what you're going to do once you have your extension bones isolated is export them, which I've already done because this is the second recording of this. Is he not yet? Okay, OBS is recording. There are just so many things going on. Then you're going to want to file, where is it? Import, not import, open. Go to the folder wherever you have the base model saved. I will include a link to it. Again, this is the Maya skeleton and not the one you're supposed to use. So this is, where is it? I didn't save it here, I need to find it. I think, where did I save it? Hold on. There it is, it's an XSI. Okay, so you do go to import, .xsi, uncheck animation, okay, go to the folder you saved it in, and open up Maya skeleton sample. It'll take a little while, and there's a funny little skeleton. Wow. Go to the top, right here, go to schematics, and it'll be a mess. So the two most important keys you want to use while activating it is Z, which is the pan and zoom tool, middle, hold down the middle mouse button to zoom, hold down the right mouse button to zoom out, and then you can just click and drag. And this also works for the 3D view, and then in 3D view you also have O, which will rotate. And so you're like, wow, okay, this is a thing that exists. So in my original Blender skeleton, the sword bones were connected to the breastbone, so I want to link those. So you have to export the individual parts from Blender. I think I said that already. Import that as a .xsi, uncheck animation, and where did I save it? My files are a nightmare. To sword halo tut, and it'll appear. So this is just a swords. So it'll also appear in the schematics wherever, probably somewhere far off. Don't worry about this because the schematics is a pain to use. So just go to Explorer, open up Scene, Scene Root, and you'll see Maya Scene Root and Spine. You want to keep opening up folders in Maya Scene Root until you find the bone you want to link to, which is the breastbone. So once I'm doing that, just click and drag spine, and it'll be there. And now they're linked. Wow. And if you really want to test to make sure if they're linked, you can go to schematics, and there will now be a very ugly looking line because it's all the way over there, and it'll be linked. And you can, now you need to go to root, in select mode, middle click root, go to export.xsi, uncheck animation, uncheck textures, because I guess check textures because or else it'll be mad at you because that's what happened last time. Click OK. Go to folder you want to save it in. I'll save it as Hooty Hoo. Do you want to, yeah. And it will save. Wow, it didn't explode this time. That's wonderful. Next, you want to go to your skeleton folder in Full Viewer. As you can see, I did this last night, so there's already a speen in there. Then go to wherever you saved it as, where it's Hooty Hoo. You should copy and paste it there, but I'm just going to drag because I already did this, so if I lose it, who cares. Go to Conv Skeleton. Cool. Now let's open Full Viewer. It'll take a while. Load in your model, which is Master with Swords. Load in your skeleton, which is Hooty Hoo. As you can see, now she's animated and the swords are moving along with her, which is a good sign. Now, the swords were intended to be used with the blend motion in EF-12, which is usually used to animate hands and face and stuff. But for this, I would use them to animate the swords. But in Full Viewer, you can't preview 2 animations at a time, so I can't really preview that it works independently here, but I can preview that it works. So if I go to Sword Halo Spin, this is not... I had multiple iterations of this, where one was just the halo independently, one was the halo. It's a mess. So as you can see, the swords are animated. They're kind of angry though. I need to figure out my files. Okay, so that didn't quite work, but I think it's because she's T-posed. But again, as you can see, there we go, that's the one I used. So sword spin makes them spin around her. And when you put these together in game, it'll be a fun little blend motion. I guess you can also animate these, but who knows? EF-12 is a finicky program. But yeah. And then I import these into her MOT folder as a blend animation. I just replaced the hand ones because she doesn't have hands that move. I import that into her math file, or it's MTH, I just say it as math, and it spins in game. I'll put a little clip of that below. Thanks for listening to me ramble for 500 years. Yeehaw.